Welcome back to Lost Again No More. This is episode 6, I believe, and it's going to be a relatively short one compared to the ones I've been following before because I just wanted to focus on just one single album today, and it's one of the just fantastic little firecracker records that came out in the early 2000s, about 2003, and it is Guitar Romantic by the Exploding Hearts. This would have been, in my opinion, one of the better bands of the last 20 years had tragedy not struck. Because these guys absolutely had the chops. They were great players of their instruments, decent songwriters. And I was going to go into that because one of the members here, if you can see it, that's King Louie from New Orleans. Now, he wasn't an official member of the band. They think they tried it at first, and he was older than the rest of them. These guys, I think they were all under 21, 22, super young, and Louis was a little bit older, but they practiced Louis songs, and they actually ended up putting some of Louis's tracks on here, and they just tore it up. They made them so freaking good, and Louis went on to do some other records himself that I'm still desperately looking for. They're kind of hard to find. He's a New Orleans legend. I think he passed away 2 years ago. So, just to give you a backstory on the Exploding Hearts, though, themselves, I believe that's Matt, Adam, Kid, and that's Terry Six. And unfortunately, after returning home from a show, their van rolled off the road in Oregon, and these three members were killed, and only Terry survived. And I think their manager was on board too, and he survived, or they survived. I think it was actually a woman. And Terry, I mean, just an unbelievably good, gifted guitarist, and it's just a tragedy that happened. It's a true tragedy because this record is an absolute banger. They just knock it out of the park with songs like Rumors in Town, Your Black and Blue, Sleeping Aids and Razor Blades, and Jailbird, Modern Kicks, of course, a Louis song, I'm a Pretender, which is just one of my favorites on this album. It's just a nice little light song that's just freaking great. And yeah, it's just one band that it happens with sometimes with people. They've got everything going for them, and just the universe has other plans. And I try to tell this to people sometimes, if I'm meeting someone and we're talking music, and they're like, what are these bands that I haven't heard of? And this is one of the first ones I usually talk about because it's relatively new. It's 20-something years old, but some of the stuff I'm talking about, like, this jazz album from the 70s, people are like, what? Or it's fantastic, krautrock record from the late 60s. You're like, well, I have no idea these references, but when I say, like, this was the West Coast Strokes, if you will, Strokes-esque, got a lot of Nick Lowe to them as well. People get it gets their attention, and then usually I have to only play like one or two tracks, and they're like, okay, I want to hear this, I want to find these guys out. And I'm like, yeah, you really should, because they have got it. Oh man, throwaway style. See, I'm just saying, like, the whole album is good. Like, literally the whole album is good, and it's one of these bands that I just wanted to see more. I wanted to see more of them. I wish there was more YouTube videos. I wish I could have got to see them in concert. And I don't know if I've gone over this before. I am not a concert person. It's too many people, too much lights and sounds and stuff, and I can't really focus on the band with people talking, cell phones, and all sorts of stuff. So when I tell you that I would want to go to a show, that's a special band. I've been fortunate to see, like, My Bloody Valentine. I actually saw Neutral Milk Hotel when they came back. I've seen Dave Matthews with my wife, she's a huge Dave Matthews fan, and that was a lot for me. That was a lot, because you know Dave's fans are fanatics, and I have to say I got a new appreciation for Dave after I got married, and you know got to step into that world a little bit. But not to get off the subject, this album should be on more people's spot lists, on their on their playlists on Spotify. They should be really looking these up, because these guys, they should have had the world. You know, they worked hard enough to get it, and just tragedy struck. You know, and anyway, like I said, I didn't really have too much for this one. I just wanted to put a singular video out for these guys, and maybe hopefully just turn one extra person on to them, that if I'm ever out and about at a bar or something, or at an event, that maybe this can get played in the background. It would make me so happy, because you know, with each play you give these guys, maybe a little pittance can get back to their family somehow. And Terry Six, the guitarist, is still touring. He was touring with Louis for a while, actually. That was one I told my wife, I've got to see the show, and we couldn't make it happen, and Louis ended up dying early. He was that fifth member I was telling you about. And not really fifth member, but a fifth collaborator that really worked with them. And, you know, they included him in the liner notes and stuff, obviously because they recorded some of his songs. But one of the best songs that they recorded that's not on here is one of Louis' songs called Gypsy Switch. And it's one of my favorite songs of the 21st century. I love that song, Gypsy Switch. And I specifically like it too on Louis' Memphis Treat album that I'm always desperately looking for. And I just keep seeing it go up and up and up in value, because they're probably never gonna release it again now that he's gone. I can't imagine, because he had a very limited following. So this is one of those bands that if you see that album when you're out in a record store, I'm telling you, there's a really good chance, if you like the Strokes, Nick Lowe, anything with some just great guitar rock with some people that are talented, you will really dig this album. So if Exploding Hearts, Guitar Romantic, get it while you can.